Why do Asians have narrow eyes? Why do Africans have dark skin? And why are people from one country sometimes much shorter than people from another? Living on one planet, we all look so different. And the question is, why? Eye shapes, skin tones, and hair colors aren't just random. And the reason you look the way you do today is more complex than you might think. But let's start from the beginning. Every single person alive today shares a common ancestor. Modern humans, or in other words, Homo sapiens, originated in Africa around 200,000 years ago. From Africa, they began migrating to other parts of the world roughly 60,000 years ago. Starting from that point, humans began to adapt to new climates, diets, and environments. So exactly this migration influenced the wide variety of how people look today. Skin color is one of the most noticeable differences among people. The pigment responsible is called melanin. People with more melanin have darker skin, while people with less have lighter skin. In Africa, where sunlight is intense, dark skin evolved as a natural protection. Melanin blocks harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun, reducing the risk of sunburn, DNA damage, and skin cancer. It also protects folate, a vitamin crucial for pregnancy and cell growth. Without enough melanin, early humans in hot climates would have faced serious health risks. So, dark skin helped them survive and pass on their genes. When humans migrated to colder regions like Europe, the environment changed. Sunlight was weaker, and getting enough vitamin D from the sun became a problem. Dark skin blocked too much UV, so people with lighter skin had an advantage. They could absorb more sunlight, produce more vitamin D, and stay healthier. Over many generations, people with lighter skin were more likely to survive and reproduce. That's why lighter skin became common in Europe, an adaptation to low sunlight, not a marker of superiority. Eye shape is another feature that changed because of the environment. Many East Asians have what's known as epicanthic folds, an extra layer of skin on the upper eyelid. This feature is not a flaw or a mystery. It developed as a response to cold climates, especially in places like Siberia and northern China. Narrower eyes and folds help protect the eyes from freezing wind and snow glare. They also reduced moisture loss and helped keep the eyes warm. These small adaptations made a big difference for survival in extreme cold. But even eye color has its origins. Brown eyes are the most common worldwide because they offer the most protection from sunlight. But in parts of northern and eastern Europe, lighter eye colors like blue and green became more common. These traits probably appeared over time because of a mix of random gene changes and people choosing certain features in partners. In areas with less sun, there was no survival disadvantage to light eyes, so rare mutations spread over time. Research shows that all people with blue eyes share a common ancestor with a genetic mutation that first appeared 6,000 to 10,000 years ago. Today, the most popular eye color is brown, while the rarest is green. Hair type is another feature that went through many changes and varies widely across the globe. Tightly coiled or curly hair, common in African populations, helps regulate body temperature in hot climates. It allows air to circulate while shielding the scalp from the sun. In colder areas, straight hair provides better insulation. It holds warmth close to the head and is less likely to break in dry, cold air. These differences aren't just about appearance. They're practical adaptations, shaped by the local conditions people lived in. Nose shape is also linked to the environment. Narrow noses, often found in Europeans and some Asian groups, help warm and humidify cold air before it reaches the lungs. In contrast, wider noses are more common in hot, humid regions like many parts of Africa. They allow air to pass through more freely, helping the body stay cool and breathe easily. Can you imagine that even your nose shape evolved for survival? And what about body size and height? People from the Netherlands are some of the tallest in the world, while people from countries like Indonesia, Bolivia, or the Philippines tend to be shorter. So why is that? Height is influenced by both genetics and environment. If your parents are tall, chances are you'll be tall too. but nutrition plays a big role. In countries with high access to protein-rich diets and healthcare, people tend to grow taller. In areas with poverty, malnutrition, or disease, growth can be stunted. That's why average height can change over time. In South Korea, for example, people have grown much taller over the last few decades, mostly due to better food and living conditions. Height also reflects adaptation. In colder climates, bigger bodies lose heat more slowly. In warmer climates, smaller, slimmer bodies release heat more easily. This idea is called Bergmann's rule, and it helps explain why people in colder areas tend to be taller and broader, while people in hotter areas are often shorter and slimmer. Muscle structure also varies across populations. West African populations often have a higher percentage of fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are linked to explosive strength and speed. This might be one reason why athletes from countries like Jamaica and Nigeria often dominate in sprinting events. On the other hand, people from East African regions like Kenya and Ethiopia often excel in long-distance running. Their muscle composition, body structure, and high-altitude living conditions give them advantages in endurance sports. Fat storage is another trait that evolved differently depending on the region. In colder regions, having a bit more body fat was useful. It helped people stay warm and store energy during food shortages. In some Arctic populations, such as the Inuit, you can even see this in their rounded body shapes and shorter limbs, which help preserve body heat. In warmer regions, bodies developed in a leaner way to help cool off faster and avoid overheating. In South Asia and Australia, many indigenous people have dark skin with different facial features from Africans. This is an example of convergent evolution, where similar traits evolve independently in separate populations. In these regions, dark skin developed as protection from UV radiation, just like in Africa. But their eye shape, hair type, and facial features adapted in unique ways to suit their specific environments. But even though we look different on the outside, the genetic differences between human groups are surprisingly small. In fact, there is often more genetic variation within a population than between populations. That means two people from the same country can be more different genetically than two people from different continents. From a science point of view, race is not a real biological group. It's just a social idea based on how people look. Genetically, we are very similar. As the world becomes more connected, people move, marry, and have children across cultures. Many people now have mixed ancestry and a blend of features from different parts of the world. You might see someone with dark skin and blue eyes, or straight hair and a wide nose. These combinations are a natural result of human mixing. Our DNA is a complex map of our history, with every feature telling a story. So when you see different faces, skin tones, or eye shapes, you're seeing the results of tens of thousands of years of human adaptation. Every trait we have today, curly hair, flat noses, narrow eyes, tall or short bodies, was shaped by survival. It's not about who's better. It's about how humans learn to thrive in every corner of the planet. Thanks to science, we now understand that these differences are not divisions. They're the beautiful result of one species, Homo sapiens, becoming truly global. One family with many faces.